on your QOR360 chair, slowly rolling forward, flexing the spine, and going down one vertebra at a time, and making your way back up one vertebra at a time as well. Inhaling the arms up, and then coming into a little bit of spinal extension. And again, inhale, exhale, allowing the body to roll forward, hands dropping to the floor. Inhale and exhale, one vertebra at a time, all the way back up to a nice seated position. Bringing the hands back behind the head for extension. Moving into a little pelvic rocking, stirring the pelvis around your chair just like a bowl of soup, allowing the spine to come into a little extension and a little bit of roundness. And going both directions. We'll move on to some side bending with rotation, bringing both hands up behind the head, side bending, and extending one arm behind the body. Trying not to allow the entire body to rotate. Instead, keep the hips nice and square and twist the rib cage around the hips, allowing the spine to get the most spinal movement. Repeating on the opposite side, again, trying to rotate the entire rib cage around a nice stable hips and pelvis. Moving on to a little bit of leg work, slowly lifting the heels up off onto the floor, up onto a nice pointed toe. Holding on to the edge of your chair, continue the motion by bringing your knees up to the chest. Being careful, knowing that the chair moves a little bit, trying to keep the chair as quiet as possible using the core muscles. You can advance this by extending the arms in front of you. Coming now for a little sit to stand, coming up to a nice tall standing position and slowly lowering the body back down to a seated position. We'll bring you into another position now, coming onto your knees with your hands on the chair. You'll inhale, and on your exhale, allow the chest and the collarbones to sink down between the shoulders. Coming back up into a kneeling position, possibly a half plank. Keeping the chair seat nice and quiet as you move up and down, letting the spine be soft. Bringing the spine into a little more rotation, keeping one hand on the chair and extending the opposite arm behind you, following the arm with the gaze, bringing a little rotation into the entire spine. We'll step forward now into a plank position. Knowing the chair moves, slowly bring one knee into the chest and extend the same leg back. Keeping the leg nice and straight on the reach back and trying to keep the chair still as possible. You could just do this in a nice hold plank position. You could do any variation of leg that you wanted. The instability of the chair challenges the core muscles and challenges the small muscles of the body. Coming to a supine position on your back, place your heels up on the chair and just see how it moves side to side. Bring the chair parallel to your body. We'll articulate the spine up into a shoulder bridge. Inhaling and exhaling, lifting the spine up off the floor one vertebra at a time, just like a string of pearls. You could do any variation with your feet, including a little side-to-side shift. and coming all the way back down to the floor. Again, we could do this in just a flat hip up, which is fine, pressing down into the heels to lift the hips. Or for a little bit more spinal mobility, you'll move into that articulation. So inhale, exhale, peeling the spine up off the floor, pressing into the heels, lifting the hips, and extending the knees forward. This movement should flow nice and easy, paying any attention to sticky parts in your spine. Once you're in your shoulder bridge, again, you could do any kind of foot variation using your QOR360 chair. Taking the hands behind the head now, we'll come up into a nice chest lift, inhaling and exhaling, curling nice and deep right around the middle part of the rib cage. Adding a little leg movement, you can lift and extend one leg, bring the other into the chest, and then you are done.